Yo, what is going on, my fellow wrestling fans? Welcome to a brand new week and welcome to a brand new edition of what we like to call the Clash of the Champions, where we talk about the different controversies, storylines, characters, and everything in between that center around this world we know and love as professional wrestling. I am your host, the vegan you believe in, Conscious Kurt, aka the Professor in the flesh as always, and my co-host needs no introduction, but fuck it. He's gonna give y'all one anyway.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the adventurer himself, Jonathan Randall, and welcome to our show, The Clash of Champions, our soap opera that we love to call professional wrestling. As of right now, from this recording, it is right now almost 10 a.m. here in Las Vegas, but it is 1 o'clock there in New Jersey, your new home, Kurt.
Yes, it is, and I love doing shows at this time of the day.
This is our
Oh,
first
I
time.
remember. You said it's your first time doing it this early?
I feel like we're doing an NBC Today show.
I prefer it. Those are my dream hours. Wake up early in the morning, like do a show like that, The Breakfast Club. Wake up early in the morning, do my work, be off work by 11, 12 noon, get the rest of the day to yourself.
Gotcha. I feel like it's a little simple to do, and once I'm done, I could just get some sleep or whatever. Though, but yeah, I feel like we're doing like a Today show, whatever. So it's been a while since we talked to you guys. It's been how long? What, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I know Kurt's been settling down in New Jersey, but damn, a lot has been going on in the world of wrestling as always.
Yes, and speaking of my new home of New Jersey, there was some breaking news that came out today. As Summerslam 2025 will be taking place at Metlife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey on August 2nd and August 3rd. And this will mark the very first Summerslam to take place across 2 nights.
Yes. Now they did say it will be 2 nights in 2026 when it's in Minneapolis, though. But for next year in New Jersey, this will be the first time. This is good.
First time ever, and it's funny enough, the only SummerSlam I ever went to was also in that same part of New Jersey, East Rutherford, in
Yeah.
1997, on the same day of August 3rd, too.
Wow.
Damn, son. So looks like I'm gonna be going to WrestleMania and SummerSlam next year. Holy shit.
Yeah, and funny how you brought up WrestleMania, because it was announced a couple days ago that WrestleMania 41 tickets will go on sale, ladies and gentlemen, October 25th. Pre-sale will be on October 23rd. So I had posted that on our Instagram page. You could follow us at the Champs Clash on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. We need all the followers that we need and the support we need for our podcast, and we thank you for all the followers. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, those tickets will go on sale again October 25th, pre-sale October 23rd.
Yes, this will be my first time going to WrestleMania since WrestleMania 33. And
Wow.
yeah, it's been too damn long, son. And now that it's spread across 2 nights, I will not have to deal with the suffering of being there for 7 hours like I did last time. Looking forward to it.
Oh
It'll be a better WrestleMania, too, for that matter.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so WrestleMania tickets go on sale October 25th. SummerSlam is heading to New Jersey next August. And it's funny, they're actually using it to market as New Jersey. They're not saying New York, New Jersey. They're actually using New Jersey only. About damn time.
Yeah, it is weird how both the New York Giants and the Jets, they say it's New York though, but they actually play in New Jersey, which is a bit weird.
Look, MetLife Stadium's only 15 minutes away from the city, but
Yeah,
still.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, after living in Jersey for 3 weeks, I will be honest, Jersey kind of gets slept on. Jersey doesn't get the love that it deserves most of the time.
Well, I mean, it gets his love in TV, like The Sopranos, because it takes place in New Jersey.
Yeah, there have been a few classics that have taken place in New Jersey, like that one being an example. Also, the movie Lean on Me also takes place in New Jersey. Also, there's
Oh
been
yeah,
great
yeah,
hip
yeah.
hop artists that have come through New Jersey, such as
Oh
Red,
hell yeah, long
Redman,
list.
Naughty by Nature, also Queen Latifah,
Latifah.
and Whitney Houston's from Jersey too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad to see Jersey getting the respect that it deserves to be marketed that way for SummerSlam next year. I cannot wait. It's going to be popping. 2025 is going to be probably even more popping than 2024 is, which is saying a lot because this year has been fucking bonkers, son. Fucking bonkers.
Oh, definitely, definitely, it has, and I can't wait for Bad Blood coming up on October
Oh,
5th.
yes.
And the build up has been tremendous. The card is building up and heating up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we do have Bad Blood next Saturday taking place from my old neck of the woods of Atlanta, Georgia. Part of me is a little bummed that I won't be there, but I have WrestleMania and Summerslam to look forward to next year, so I'll be fine.
Hey, you know what? You have something else looking forward to as well because we forgot to mention another upcoming event. It was announced that Saturday's night main event it is indeed coming back. Will be coming back on December, taking place in Uniondale, New York, or Long Island, is it
Yes,
right?
Saturday night's main event will be making its return on December 14th, and it will be taking place at the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, which is actually only 15 minutes away from my dad's house. So if I do end up going, I'll probably sleep there the night and go to Saturday night's main event. And it's so funny,
Yeah,
believe it or not, the very first Saturday night's main event was actually in that same arena.
nice. I think that's a perfect, absolutely perfect. Can't wait for
Yeah,
that.
it's been 26 years since I've
It's been a,
actually been to that arena. The one time I actually got to go there was in '98 for a house show, and that was probably the best house show I ever went
wow,
to.
nice. That's crazy. There hasn't been a Saturday night's main event was it since 2008. Am I correct?
But the less we say about some of those shows, the better. I feel like this one they're definitely gonna go all out with it, and I will.
Well, I know.
But yeah, I'm liking this. We talked about it a few weeks ago, and I'm happy that they're bringing this back.
Oh yeah, but back to Bad Blood. The match card has been looking pretty solid, and I like it. One match I said will be on the card, and sarcastically, Kurt, you thought this match wasn't going to be on a card, and I'm talking about Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. I had said that this match needs to be on a card, and it is.
Yep, they're doing it a lot sooner than I thought they would, but yes, it is going to happen next Saturday at Bad Blood.
It's the perfect timing. They needed to do it. I said to myself because they were pretty much literally just going at it with each other like for almost a year, pretty much a year, and then you know when when it boils over at SummerSlam recently, which was in August, so you had the rest of August and you had September. Now going in October, I think this is the perfect time to go ahead and do it, to have this match at this event.
Yep, it's going down next Saturday. We're going to have that match. And also for the women's world title, we're going to have Liv Morgan defending against the woman who never lost the title, Rhea Ripley, who apparently is the highest paid woman in
Yeah.
WWE right now.
Oh wow. Yeah, and that's good, but there's also something else was added to that match. So Dominic Mysterio will be suspended above the ring in a shark cage.
Yes, just like his ex-con Dom days. Yes, Dominic is going to be behind bars, hanging over the ring for
Yeah.
this match. And we are going to find out once and for all in this scenario if Dominic Mysterio really is Vatos Locos forever.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I like it.
Yo, how crazy was that on Raw Monday when Dominic and Liv Morgan came to the arena in the lowrider? I know you were fuming when you saw that.
Ooh, the disrespect.
Oh man, I'll say this.
Oh, the disrespect.
I'll say this. Dominic and Rhea reminded me of Eddie Guerrero in China, but in a
Mhm.
way, Dominic and Liv remind me of Edge and Lita.
Hmm.
The way they play off
Okay.
of each other, yeah.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so this match is definitely going to be a big deal. I'll give my prediction for it on the show next week because I definitely have a prediction that might surprise you. But yes, we're going to get that rematch at Bad Blood. It should definitely be a big deal. And also at Bad Blood, it is finally going to happen after almost 7, 8 months of feuding back and forth, costing one another championships, stealing bracelets away, breaking bracelets in half, and shoving it in each other's mouths. It is finally going to be settled once and for all as CM Punk and Drew McIntyre will face off in Hell in a Cell.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The ultimate way to end a feud. And I called it from the beginning. When I heard that Bad Blood was going to be announced, I already said that these two are going to compete in Hell in a Cell. And I was right. I love it. I love it. That this is how you're supposed to build a Hell in a Cell match, not having random feuds that were for like a month and then yeah, we're gonna have Hell in a Cell. No, no, you have feuds like this build up for months, and this is the way you're supposed to do it. And I cannot wait. And I know it's going to be very good. I know it is. I know it's going to be violent for one thing.
Yes, and they have both guaranteed that they're going to make the other bleed. So
Yeah.
get ready, everybody. The blood in Hell in a Cells is coming back.
And the fact that it's, we've seen this, last year too, though, but the fact that the Hell in a Cell, it's, back to its original, steel gray color makes it even better. I hated that red cage color. I hated that.
Yeah, no more McDonald's playground vibes.
No, thank God. And you know what? I'm very honored and proud to say that I actually saw a Hell in a Cell match in person last year at WrestleMania 39 in LA between Finn Balor and Edge.
I've actually seen 4 in person. Well, 2 of them I'd rather
Oh,
forget, but yes, I have seen 4 of
oh,
them in person.
oh my God! Which one of those was for? Please, you can
Well,
tell our audience.
one of
Just
the
tell us. Just
one of the best ones actually I got to see in person, the Undertaker and Triple H one from WrestleMania 28.
oh yeah, right.
Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
that shit was a roller coaster ride.
Remember
Also,
that?
I went to the Hell in a Cell show in Miami the next year, so I saw the CM Punk and Ryback one, which was whatever, and then the Daniel
Ah,
Bryan and Randy Orton one, which was also whatever. Like neither one of those matches honestly needed to be a Hell in a Cell match. And
mm,
also another match that didn't need to be a Hell in a Cell match, although it had a great spot in it, was the Undertaker and Shane McMahon one from WrestleMania 32.
oh yeah, yeah. I just
I mean, I was happy that Shane came back. It was great, but just that whole storyline and like him randomly being in a Hell in a Cell with Undertaker, yeah, that whole shit was weird. Great spot when he jumped off the cell. That was incredible being there live to witness that. But just all that shit put together, yeah, it was weird, weird.
got you. Yep.
But yes, I'm looking forward to this one. This will definitely be the final blow off to this feud, and there's no better way for them to blow it off. So,
Yeah.
yes, it's going down. And I thought initially that this match was going to be the main event of Bad Blood, but from another match that's been added to the show, it might possibly not be the main event of Bad Blood
Yeah.
because one of the matches that's been added to the show is a tag team match pitting the new bloodline of Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu taking on the WWE champion Cody Rhodes and the man he defeated for the title at WrestleMania, the OG tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns.
Man, who ever to think that these two were going to be a tag team after everything that they've been through with each other?
Yeah, I mean, when Roman helped Cody retain at SummerSlam, I figured they would have like some kind of association with each other, but I didn't think they
Yeah,
would actually be teaming up at a PLE like this soon. Yeah,
I
this is
know.
definitely not what I saw coming.
Nobody.
And what I did like though was that segment they had on Friday on SmackDown at the
Yes.
Georgia Tech Stadium when they faced
Yeah.
off with each other. Yo, that shit was dope.
Yeah. I was literally just about to get into that. I mean, what do you thought about that? I loved it. Roman Reigns going back to the same place where he played college football at Georgia Tech. But then again, you need to remember Atlanta is Cody Rhodes' hometown as well.
Yeah, they both have ties to Atlanta. They both have a lot of roots there. And yeah, it was perfect for them to have that face to face setting there and for them to be
Yeah.
having this match in that city. So yeah, this is going to be a big deal. This is kind of a similar scenario to when, Austin and Rock would team up or Hogan and Warrior would team up, etc. Yeah, the reluctant tag team partners, but the two biggest stars being those reluctant tag team partners. Yeah, it's definitely going to be some shit to watch.
I bet. And how can we forget? Let's not forget what Roman Reigns said at the end of that segment. Pretty much about "I'll have your back." We're gonna see that's proven.
Yeah, yeah. What Roman was basically saying is that I'll have your back, but just make sure you have mine.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny. The last time Cody and Roman faced off at WrestleMania, Roman had everything. He had the bloodline, he had the championship, the wise man, and just ever since WrestleMania, he had all
gone.
that taken away from him. Yeah.
Man,
Now he's all on his own, literally all on his own.
crazy.
But with Cody and Roman teaming up, I think this is going to cause some people to turn on Cody very soon.
Hmm.
And I know who those two people are.
You care to tell us? Or
Well, for one, they teased it last Friday on SmackDown. I'm sure you saw. One of those people is Kevin Owens, as Kevin Owens was asked about Cody teaming up with Roman. And before he could even say anything, he was interrupted by the bloodline. And then at the end of the show, Cody came to save him. And then Kevin Owens had the chair in his hand, and it seemed like he was going to hit Cody with it, but he didn't do it. If you had any doubts that Kevin Owens was going to turn on Cody before, ooh, it's coming. It's coming.
bet.
And now with Cody teaming up with Roman, even though it's kind of reluctantly, yeah, Kevin Owens is definitely going to have a motive for that because it was Kevin Owens who was one of the people who was fighting with Cody to fight off the bloodline all these years. And after all that, Cody's going to freaking team with Roman? Really? Some weird ass shit, Holmes.
I bet. I bet.
And also another person to look out for to be turning on Cody soon. We've been talking about it for a while. Randy Orton.
Yeah, and that's something that I want to see between that's an upcoming feud I want to see in the future. Great, it'll be perfect storytelling because these two have a long history with each other. So I would love to see that.
Yeah, it'll happen sooner or later. It could be probably Royal Rumble time, give or take. But yeah, anything is possible. But we all know who Cody's opponent at WrestleMania is going to be. We're just waiting for his ass to come back from whatever mediocre movie he's filming.
I mean, I haven't heard anything what he's been doing. I mean, look, he has Moana 2 coming up in a couple of months, but as far as like currently filming, I mean, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I haven't really heard too much from him either. The last I saw was that pic of him filming that movie where he's like playing a boxer or like an MMA fighter.
Oh yeah, that one. That's right.
Yeah, but I'm sure by the time Royal Rumble season comes around and Raw moves to Netflix, we will be seeing Mr. Dwayne Johnson back.
Yeah, and you know what? And speaking of the move to Netflix, so SmackDown has already made their move to USA, right?
Yes, 2 Fridays ago, and now
New,
they have a new theme song
new
for Megan,
logo.
the new logo, and also they have a new theme song for Megan the Stallion, which a lot of people are unhappy about, apparently.
I'm not feeling it, if I had to be honest with you. Just me personally. I mean, I have nothing against Megan Thee Stallion. Like I like her, I do, but as for the song, I'm not feeling it.
Look, her music's not my cup of tea. That song itself's also not my cup of tea, but whatever. They only play it for 30 seconds to a minute before the show starts. It's not the end of the world.
Again, I mean, just look, it's just not my cup of tea. So regardless, it was 5 seconds.
Yeah, people were really flipping out about it, having meltdowns about it. I'm like, bro, relax. It's just a theme song. It's just a theme song.
But yeah, they already changed their look and everything, and they said that it's been moved to 3 hours.
Well, they're saying starting in January, it may move to 3 hours. It's not official yet, but it's looking like it's heading in that direction.
And then Raw apparently is going to move back to 2 hours, right?
Yes, it was announced that starting October 7th, after Bad Blood, Raw is going to be only 2 hours from 8 to 10. From October 7th all the way to December 30th, which will be the last time Raw takes place on USA, Raw will only be 2 hours. But when it moves to Netflix, it will go back to being 3 hours.
Look, for this time being, I like the fact that they're going back to 2 hours. I mean, look, I think we all have made this statement before. It's a big difference when you're having a 3 hour TV show versus having a 3 hour, PLE. Sorry, big difference. Commercials. It's a long show.
Yeah, and for PLEs, it's the culmination of everything that you see on TV. But with TV, it's just to further progress whatever they're going to do with the PLE.
Right.
And watching 3 hours of that can be a lot sometimes.
It's
Although Raw's been
strange.
better the last like year or so, especially
Yeah.
just in general, it's still 3 hours, and that 3 hours you still feel it.
It's 3 hours is that's pretty lengthy, man. Like, and when I heard about SmackDown going to 3 hours, I don't know, man. Like, I get it. Your content is good, but it's just 3 hours is a long time, man. Like, gotta remember all those commercials in, dude. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's only temporary, but I'm kind of relieved that Raw will be only 2 hours for the next few
Woo.
months.
Woo.
The only downside is I kind of feel bad for is the fact that a lot of people are going to be getting less TV time because of that.
Yeah, I mean, because like 3 hours, you could do so much. You know what I mean? You could do so much in 3 hours. But yeah, you're right. I mean, a lot of time will be cut. You know, so much you have to squeeze in into 2 hours. Not saying like you could do a lot in 2 hours though, but you can't do the same stuff you did for a 3 hour show compared to a 2 hour show.
Yeah, and they're already cutting down on the PLEs where they only have 5 matches tops. So now
Mm.
that with cutting down on Raw, at least temporarily, yeah, a lot of people are going to be missing out on valuable TV time. But we'll see what happens with that. I like the move for Raw doing this temporarily. I mean, them going
Mm-hmm.
back to 3 hours is inevitable, but
My God.
is what it is. But I feel like SmackDown moving to 3 hours, if that does happen, that might be a problem considering the SmackDowns we've been getting lately.
Really?
Because SmackDown, I don't want to say it's bad, but SmackDown is definitely colder compared to Raw. And one issue with SmackDown that's been very noticeable, and I think that's been a reason why Cody's title reign's been looked at the way it's been, is that they have a lack of like top bad guys on the show, like top heels on the show.
You know what? That is a good point. That is a good point. That's why I was kind of waiting about. Okay, when is Kevin gonna? When is Kevin Owens gonna turn? When is Randy Orton going to turn? Like, what are outside of that? I mean, outside of the bloodline, you don't really have any other heels, top heels, especially heels that could compete or feud with Cody Rhodes.
And let's be real, this whole Solo Sokoa thing they've been doing is the new tribal chief. It's been cool and all in its own way, but let's be honest, nobody bought him as the dude who was gonna beat Cody for the championship. Not at SummerSlam, and not at that cage match on SmackDown a few weeks ago. Although that cage match was good,
Oh hell yeah!
yeah, nobody was buying him as the dude who was gonna beat Cody for
Right,
the title.
got to move on. Give somebody who's actually has like a threat. Like, oh, you know what? But this guy had. If anybody could do it, maybe this guy could do it.
Yeah,
That's why I saw Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
yeah, both of those dudes need to turn heel ASAP. And also another thing that I heard about the other day that wouldn't be a bad idea is after the CM Punk and Drew feud wraps up with Bad Blood, maybe Drew McIntyre moves to SmackDown.
Yeah, I like that. I think this is the thing. What I predict, because you got to remember prior to this Hell in a Cell match, right? You did remember CM Punk wanted to, felt like, okay, this feud is behind me. I want to go after, Gunther. I want to become the world champion, right? So I think that's what's going to happen once this feud is over. CM Punk is going to go back to what he was going to do, become world champion. I think Drew McIntyre should do the same thing, like you said. Maybe go to SmackDown and then feud with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, that'd be great. We could definitely see that happening. As far as CM Punk challenging Gunther for the title, I was hearing a rumor. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I was hearing that that match may take place at Survivor Series.
Hmm.
But it probably won't because Gunther's probably going to duck Punk the same way he's been ducking Sami Zayn the last few weeks.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm liking this build up between these two.
But the way it's looking now, we're more than likely not getting that match at Bad Blood because it's already like a week away and it still hasn't been made official yet. So more than likely, Gunther and
Yeah.
Sami Zayn's going to take place at Crown Jewel, which works because that Saudi Arabia
Right.
crowd loves Sami Zayn. They freaking love him up there.
They do. They do. I don't know. You were talking about CM Punk and Gunther for Survivor Series. I was more thinking about maybe at Royal Rumble, maybe.
That could happen too. And also another thing I was thinking about was the fact that We actually haven't talked since that episode of Raw a few weeks ago where Gunther and Bret Hart had that segment together, and where Gunther said,
Oh yeah.
"You're my second favorite wrestler of all time. My first favorite wrestler of all time is Bill Goldberg." Oh man, that was one of the
Oh my
coldest
god.
lines ever, son.
I love that whole segment. I loved how I mean, of course you loved seeing Bret Hart back in the WWE in the
Of
ring
course.
doing a segment. Of course, in Calgary, in his hometown. One thing I did love, I loved. I don't know if you caught this though, but Sami Zayn showing up wearing a Calgary Flames jersey. He wasn't just wearing just any kind of jersey, ladies and gentlemen. If you're hockey fans like myself, you would know that he was wearing the late Johnny Gargano's jersey, who tragically
Passed
got
away.
killed by a drunk driver. Him and his brother got killed, sadly. So the whole hockey world was mourning his loss. I was mourning his loss as well, along with his brother. But yeah, it was a very sad moment though. But I loved how Sami Zayn did that tribute to him. So I thought that was very neat.
Yeah, that was dope. I don't know enough about that situation. I don't really follow hockey that much, but
Sad,
I did like that he did that
sad,
tribute though. It did
sad.
seem.
Great, very great hockey player. Great hockey player. Played his time with the Calgary Flames, but currently at that time before he passed away, he was playing for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Oh wow, okay.
But a great, very great hockey player. If you look up his highlights, very skilled, very great hockey player though. But um, it was sad though, man, because they I think a couple days after they were supposed to be at their sister's wedding.
Oh man, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hate when that shit happens. Yeah, it's the
and
worst.
and then like I found out about a couple weeks ago, his widow had revealed that she was pregnant with another kid.
Oh man, that's terrible, man. Yeah.
They already had a kid already. They already have a baby girl already though, but it was expected, or she was supposed to have a kid. So the fact that he's not going to see, I don't know if it was a boy or girl or not. Just the fact that you're not be able to see your another child born is sad, man. And yeah, whole hockey world was mourning his loss. So rest in peace to him and his brother.
Yes, rest in peace to both of them. And yeah, we're more than likely gonna get that match with Sammy and Gunther probably at the next PLE, not this one. But it's all
Yeah.
good. Yeah, but Raw's been great the last few weeks, and one thing I've been liking
Oh
on
my
Raw,
God.
yeah, and one thing I've been really enjoying on Raw lately is the Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman brawls.
Yeah, that's that one feud where like, look, we're not gonna. It's not on the PLE, but it's good just to have it on Raw. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing with matches like this. Like, yeah, it's unfortunate that it doesn't get booked on the PLE, but
Mhm.
it can be on Raw. They can get more time, tell a better story, and it will stand out more.
They had so much time to do what they got to do. They had a match outside.
Yeah, where Bronson Reed splashed on Strowman from like the top of that like railing onto the car. Yo, that shit was nuts, man. And then that brawl they had on Raw last week, where like Bronson Reed like launched a fan into Braun Strowman, and they fell through the railing
Lord.
together. And yeah, that shit was nuts. And even last Monday on Raw, when Dominic and Liv were getting to the arena, like right as they're walking in, like Strowman and Bronson Reed were brawling all over the place.
You know what? If this keeps up, I don't know. Maybe it could happen though, but maybe potentially they could get a spot at Crown Jewel. Maybe.
It's possible, but they are gonna have a match this Monday on Raw called the Last Monster Standing match. And yeah,
Well, maybe that'll be the last one.
yeah, it's gonna be wild, bro. I can't wait for this one. The best way this whole feud's been described is Godzilla versus King Kong,
I saw that.
or like those skits from Family Guy when like Peter Griffin would fight the chicken.
Oh Lord, yeah, that's a good comparison.
Yeah, but I've been liking this. It's been fun. It's been
I have.
entertaining, and yeah, it's been giving both dudes something to do. And I think Bronson Reed will more than likely win because he's probably gonna feud with Seth Rollins whenever he gets back.
Hmm. I wanted to ask you this: what do you thought about Nia Jax's women's championship presentation on SmackDown a while ago?
Which one? Like the when she came out like on the throne, like when
Yeah.
they carried her to the ring.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
cool, like you know how they like carried her to the ring and all that, but I mean nothing
Yeah.
else really stood out about it beyond that. And now she has either Bailey or Naomi to worry about at Bad Blood, as the two of them are gonna have a match tomorrow on SmackDown to decide who gets the title shot. Because like last
Yeah.
Friday on SmackDown, they had that tag match and then they both pinned Nia at the same time, so it was like a big
Mm,
controversy. So now it's looking
right.
like they're gonna battle to see who gets the title shot.
Mm. I think most likely, I think Bailey's going to win. She's probably going to get another rematch and see what happens from there.
Yeah, more than likely. But one thing that did happen on Raw that really stood out was the main event of the show, as Braun Breaker defended his Intercontinental title against main events Jey
Whoa!
Uso,
Oh my God!
and it finally happened.
Yes, what I wanted for the longest time. I think everybody wanted this for the whole entire time. Man, finally, finally.
I didn't think it was going to happen going into the
Uh,
show, but but that day I was starting to get the feeling that it might happen, especially from what people were saying online all day, and just from how they were building it on TV throughout the night. I was thinking maybe it will happen, maybe it will,
yeah,
and lo and behold, Jey Uso, after spearing Braun Breaker through the railing, spearing him in the ring, and hitting the Uso splash, finished off Braun Breaker and won his very first Intercontinental title.
first singles championship on his resume now. So happy for him.
I'm happy for him too. And with this win, he becomes the part of the second tandem of father and son duos to win the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect and his son Curtis Axel.
And now Rikishi and Jey Uso.
Wow,
And also the fifth member of the Anuahi family to win the IC title, in addition to Rikishi, The Rock, Roman Reigns, and Umaga.
wow.
It was great. The only thing I didn't like is how it went off the air literally right after he won.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you could like see, but like after it went off the air, you could like see footage of him crying and like being very emotional. And Jackie Redmond interviewed him in the audience as he was celebrating. Yeah, it was a great
Yeah.
moment, man. I'm happy that he finally got to win a singles title.
Definitely could put that as one of the greatest moments in Raw history.
Yeah, definitely. At least for this year, especially. Yeah, definitely one of
Yeah.
those moments that stood out.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was kind of worried for a little while because he wasn't really doing much and you weren't seeing him on TV much. But
Yeah, man. I was worried too because it's like, prior to that he wasn't doing anything, you know what I mean? It was kind of like, all right, he has that feud with his brother, and then he was put in the Money in the Bank ladder match where I thought, oh, this is his chance to really, like, this is your opportunity. Didn't happen, and then like he didn't do much, and I was really worried. I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen to this guy? To the point where Rikishi even said something. You know what I mean? So when he finally was started that feud with Braun Breaker, I was like, thank God, like finally could do something. But I'm look, as much as I'm happy for Jey Uso, okay, I was a little bit surprised that they did take the belt off of Braun Breaker because I thought that he I probably was going to have that belt a little bit longer than that. I mean, how long has he had it? How
two
long?
months, not even
This
2
like a
months.
month, 2 months. Wow, I thought he was going to have a little bit longer than that. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But I would like to see these two still feud with each other.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a rematch eventually at some point. But yo, props to Jey Uso winning his first singles title. I think this will be good for him.
It is. He needs it. That's the first stepping stone. That belt, Kurt. That belt. If you're like that up and coming guy, that is the first belt that you win that's going to level you up to the next level. We've seen this before in the past, especially in the early days with that belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this is reminding me of when Bret Hart won the IC title at SummerSlam '91. This could
Yeah.
be the beginning of big things for
Uh-huh.
Jey Uso going forward. And it's so crazy. I remember when he first did that initial storyline with Roman 4 years ago, like during COVID. You were kind of like iffy about it because Jey Uso wasn't a proven main eventer at the time, but he did well in that
Yeah.
feud. And then obviously him and his brother had that long tag team title reign afterwards, and that long storyline with the Bloodline, with the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn stuff and all that. And then like after WrestleMania last year, they were like testing the waters with him being solo, and he was shining in that department too. And then when they moved him to Raw
Yeah.
and moved him away from the Bloodline stuff, you could definitely tell that there was something there with the crowd reactions, the entrance,
Oh
and
yeah.
the glasses and the heat stuff. You definitely knew he had something as far as being a solo act, and
Hmm.
this is the culmination of all of it. And I was happy to
Yeah.
see it. I was really happy that
And let's not
that went down this way
Yeah, and let's not forget. I mean, he was in an Intercontinental title match before last
against
year with
Gunther.
Gunther.
Yeah, with the
Yeah, where he almost won, but his brother interfered. You know what I mean? So to finally to grab this moment now, I'm so happy for him because, like, yeah, I've seen it from the beginning. I think it all helps from, like you said, with the feud with Roman from the COVID era, and then his time with the Bloodline and all that. It really helped him out. And then when he pushed into the singles competitor, you really saw something, a lot of potential in this guy, where it's like, you know what, I could see it. And I said the first thing, I was like, dude, make this dude the IC champ, and here we are.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how his title reign goes. And Braun Breaker lost nothing by losing the IC title. Jey Uso is a proven star in the company. He's
Yeah.
main evented WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Yo, Braun Breaker is fine. He'll be fine. And there was even a story coming out after the match that he's more than likely going to turn babyface soon.
Really?
Yeah, because he's already playing off the crowd with the whole barking thing and all that. And considering that he
Yeah.
lost the title so soon, it's possible that it could go down that
Yeah.
way. But we'll see. Yeah, but congratulations to Jey Uso. Definitely well deserved. And another thing that's been standing out on Raw lately has been the tension between Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods.
Ah.
Yeah, to the point where like they were challenging for the tag team titles on Raw last week against the Judgment Day, and then the other members of Judgment Day came out to interfere, and then the LWO came out to try to help out, and then this ended up causing a distraction, and it cost New Day the titles. And Xavier Woods was so pissed that he bitched out Kofi, and he also bitched out the LWO.
Whew. We're finally gonna see the breaking of New Day, Kurt.
It's possible, but then on Raw this week, it seemed like everything was cool between Kofi and Xavier. Although
Oh,
Xavier was rejecting like going back to the old ways of the New Day, like doing the pancake stuff and doing the colorful outfit stuff and the trombones and the bootios. Like he was like, you know what? I kind of want to move past that stuff. I don't want to do that no more. And then after he said that, I remember some lady was coming with some pancakes behind him, and then Kofi just told her like, "Yo, go away. He doesn't want it."
see, we're seeing the early stages, Kurt.
And then they ended up losing their match on Raw Monday again, and that caused
Hmm.
Xavier to be more pissed off. And then Xavier got into it again with the LWO, specifically Rey Mysterio, and that would lead to them making a match official for Raw this Monday between Rey and Xavier Woods. Yo, yeah, they are really teasing the hell out of this New Day split.
Yes, we've seen this before, Kurt. Like, especially maybe, if it's like a faction or even a tag team. If a tag team is on a losing streak and it gets to the point where the team is blaming each other for it, oh yeah, you already know that a split up is going to happen.
Yeah, they had that Odyssey Jones guy involved in the storyline a few weeks ago, which was very
Yeah,
brief. Obviously, they let him go since then.
yeah,
But yeah, I've been liking how they've been teasing this split. I don't know honestly for sure if it's going to happen or not
I
because
think it
because
is.
in November it's actually going to be the 10-year anniversary of the New Day's debut, like when they first formed.
Still though, still 10th anniversary or not. The split up is gonna happen, Kurt. Like, you don't go. It's funny. It's funny how Odyssey Jones was gone and now all this happens. You don't go from, oh yeah, you're mad at each other, you're on a losing streak, and then you're like, oh yeah, we're good. No, no, split up is gonna happen. We've seen this before. Oh, I've seen this story so many times, too many times.
I'm sure more than likely we're going to see an appearance from Big E over the next few weeks.
Hmm.
Yeah, with this whole thing being teased.
Oh yeah, try to, yeah, yeah, I'll love that.
Yeah, with this whole thing being teased, yeah, it's inevitable that he eventually shows up to try to maybe talk sense into both of them. And also, it came out yesterday that Big E, there might be a chance he could return to the ring within 3 to 6 months.
Really?
he gave an update about his condition the other day, and he talked about how it's looking like there's a chance that he could make a comeback within the next few months, and that if things go well, him and his doctor are going to talk, and yeah, there's a possibility that it could happen.
I love that, man. Because that whole injury, that was, oh man, that was very unfortunate. You know what I mean? We all thought that he may come back, and then it wouldn't to, he may not come back, and and anything is possible. Now we're hearing this, so I'm actually glad to hear that. Well, hopefully it turns out to be true.
Yeah, and like I said when he got injured initially, I was saying that if he can't wrestle for the foreseeable future, that sucks. But there is a chance that maybe like Brian Danielson that he can come back in a few years, and it's looking like it could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been out for what 2.5 years now. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a possibility he can end up coming back by maybe WrestleMania season.
Okay.
Yeah, but I definitely expect to see him make an appearance during this whole storyline with Xavier and Kofi. There's got to be a way that he eventually shows up for it.
Yeah. Try to come in and make amends and try to bring them back in, bring them back together, just like be that gel to gel things together.
And speaking of tag teams potentially breaking up, Bianca Belair was recently opening up about Montez Ford and why he hasn't had like a singles push yet. And she basically said that he's ready for it and that he wants to do it, but the only thing is he doesn't want to leave Angelo Dawkins behind.
Huh.
Like he really likes being in the tag team with him. He really enjoys doing it, and he has like the
Yeah.
feeling that maybe if he splits away from him, that Angelo Dawkins will be left out to dry, and he won't really have much to do or much to really work with. So that's
Yeah.
why he's been sticking with that team for so long, which is commendable. I respect that, but I
Yeah.
just feel like they've kind of done all they can at this point.
Yeah, man, because I look, I haven't seen like anything what's the word? I haven't seen anything like useful or promising for these two, especially them together. You know what I mean? It's not like I want the best for the both of them, especially for D'Angelo Hawkins. You know what I mean? But it's like, where are we going? I don't really see any progress or anything like that. We've seen Montez Ford compete that one time in Elimination Chamber, and we both said like, oh, potential, just like Jey Uso. There's potential right there. You know what I mean? And that was like the first and only time that we actually saw him compete on his own by himself. That was it. And I thought they were going to keep the ball running after that, but they really didn't.
Yeah, and it seemed like when they joined with Bobby Lashley, and it seemed like they were going to be heels,
Yeah.
that there was like something that they could have worked with that. But then they ended up turning
Yeah.
them good again, and then yeah, they weren't really doing much. Now Bobby Lashley's not even in the company anymore, so yeah, it kind of feels like
Well,
they're kind of like doing the same shit.
yeah, man. It's just that's what he wants, but you got to remember at the end of the day, you got to remember creative. They have the last say. They're gonna see what's the best. I don't know. I think me personally, like you said, Kurt, it is commendable, but at the same time, you want to like long term, you see like potential Montez Ford, and it's funny. We're almost at. It's crazy how it's almost October. Towards the end of the year, I haven't not done this in years, but like I want to go back and rewatch all the PLEs from this year because this year has been such a great wrestling year, right? I want to go back and look back at all the previous PLEs. Go look at watch Elimination Chamber, and Montez Ford really had a very great performance where like, oh, this guy has potential.
That was last year's though, not this year's.
Oh, what oh my
That was
god.
2023.
Oh, it was damn, that was last year. I was thinking that was this year. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
and it's
tripping.
funny enough.
And that was a year ago and they haven't done anything? Dude.
Look, like I said before, I get it. Like I understand it. Like he's probably comfortable in that tag team. They've been in that tag team for years.
Yeah,
And there's certain tag teams that are kind of lifer tag teams, like the Road Warriors being one example, but and also the
yeah.
Dudley Boys to a degree too. But after a while, like it just comes to a point where there's just like nothing else they can really do. They haven't been the tag team champions in 3.5 years. They've had title shots. They've been in the
Oh
mix, but they
God.
haven't won them since like what 2021. Yeah, it's like what else do
Oh
they do with them from here? Like they're not in any like really like compelling feuds or anything along those lines
no.
of storylines. Yeah, it's like yeah, what else can you do from this point?
And look, we both know that um, pretty much every tag team, they you do realize they play around with splitting it up just to test them, see how well they'll do as a singles competitor. That happens all the time, even with the best tag teams. We saw that with the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, the APA. Um, just pretty much every tag team we've seen them like, okay, you guys are good together, but let's see how you are by yourselves. And it's a testing out process, and it happens all the time. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it's an experiment.
Yeah, sometimes you have to try it, and
Even the New Age Outlaws, they split them up for a little bit. I know it didn't work out though, but it was a try. But it happens.
and who knows? Maybe Angelo Dawkins can become a star too. People automatically assume that Montez Ford is going to be this big deal and all that, and Angelo Dawkins is going to get pushed to the wayside. But who knows?
Oh,
Angelo
you don't know that.
Dawkins could be a star too. Don't just write the dude off like
Yeah.
that.
Don't assume. Don't assume. You may never know.
Yeah.
You may never know. D'Angelo Hawkins may be the bigger star than Montez Ford. You may never know.
Yeah, people even thought with Jimmy and Jey Uso, like people would always say back in the day that if they were ever to split, that Jimmy would have been the bigger deal than Jay was. And lo and behold, look what
Mm.
happened now. Jay's the way bigger deal than
Oh
Jimmy's
yeah.
been.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with that, and yeah, we'll keep you updated when anything does turn up from it. But did you see Mercedes Monet's interview on the Breakfast Club yesterday?
I heard it was literally like was it like yesterday or something like that? I read about it, but I didn't
Yeah, it was
watch it.
yesterday morning. It was yesterday morning
Yeah.
because AEW Grand Slam was at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York,
Mm,
so yeah, it made sense for her to be on the Breakfast Club.
okay.
Yeah, she was on the Breakfast Club. Yeah, she was talking about like her time in AEW, like how she's getting paid so well, how she got into wrestling, and she briefly opened up about why she left WWE, and she mentioned
That
the
part.
day she left how like she didn't like how she was talked to by the person in charge, and yeah, she did mention that like that day Vince McMahon did talk to her disrespectfully, and that
Mm,
kind of like a light bulb went off on her that day, and she said that I've been here for 10 years and I'm being talked to like this. Like if I stay here, then I'm accepting being treated that way and I can't do that anymore. So that's when she made the decision to leave, and yeah, she never looked back.
wow. I think I read a tweet from her when the McMahon documentary came out that she was gonna
Roll her blunt, get some
roll a
popcorn, and enjoy
blunt
the
and drink
show.
some wine, get some wine and watch, relax. I was like, oh shoot, oh boy,
Yeah, and I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that Vince probably talked to her and Naomi a certain way, not to mention their subordinates like that piece of shit Laurinaitis. So yeah, I've always
yeah.
maintained that like whatever you feel about Mercedes Monet personally and all that jazz, you can't blame her or Naomi for walking out that day.
Hmm.
Because I'm sure it wasn't an isolated incident. I'm sure it was a combination of things that have been happening for a long time, and that day was just probably the last straw.
Hey, you can't blame him.
Yeah, and she also went on to say that she likes where she's in AEW and she's like the way she's been treated, and because of that, she doesn't know if she'll ever go back to WWE.
Mm.
But she could just be saying that. Yeah, it was a cool interview. She came off a little better in this interview than she has in some of the other ones I've seen her in.
Mm.
But yeah, it was a good vibe. And also, speaking of the Vince McMahon documentary, the Vince McMahon docu-series did drop on Netflix yesterday. I was only able to watch some of the first episode, but from what I'm seeing of it so far and from what I've been hearing from most people who have watched it, it's basically nothing we haven't heard before.
Okay, I'm currently on the third episode, right? That's what I've been hearing. It's like just a lot of stuff that, like, hey, we know about this already. Don't get me wrong. For me personally, there were a couple of things where I was like, "Oh, I didn't, know that." But still, majority of it, it's like, yeah, I know. We all know, especially if you're a wrestling fan. You know, I think this documentary will mainly pertain to an audience that don't watch wrestling. Because apparently, everybody knows about the recent big man scandal. So they probably Netflix, because you got to remember Netflix, before the scandal happened, they had the intentions. Okay, we're going to do a documentary, and then when the whole scandal was brought up, they immediately was like, no, we're not going to do it. And now all of a sudden, now you know what, we're going to release it. So that scandal that just happened, as a viewer, you're kind of like, hey, you know what, I remember about that whole McMahon scandal from a couple years ago, and now I'm seeing this thing on Netflix. Maybe I want to check this out. This is for like an audience that's like non wrestling, doesn't watch wrestling, but they are aware. I mean, because it was like a worldwide thing, everybody knew about it. You know what I mean? My girlfriend doesn't watch wrestling, but she knew about the whole situation. So from that perspective, you're kind of like, wait a minute, there's this Netflix thing. We may want to check this out.
Yeah, I guess I get that vibe from it so far. Like, for people who have been watching wrestling for years and know about the whole Vince story, it's like nothing really new or eye opening.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody who like doesn't watch wrestling like that or who hasn't watched it in years, then you'll probably get a lot more from it.
I tell you what, though, I think the one thing I did find fascinating was his earlier life, pretty much, growing up and his relationship with his father and him getting into the wrestling business and hearing about the different territories. I love the territory stories. I love that. I love hearing about, like, wow, there was so many different wrestling territories back then, and how the way it was back then. It wasn't just one global company as it is now, but there was so many different wrestling territories. I like that story. It's crazy how things were different back then.
Yeah, and then Vince came through and said, you know what?
Buying you out.
Screw that. I'm going to take all of your top talent and invade your territory, run shows there. And yeah, I'm going to run the whole industry.
Literally went Godfather on all of them.
Yep, definitely did. I haven't
Wow.
gotten to that episode yet, but the one part that stood out to me was when he was talking about how like he doesn't respect people who retire. He's like, you don't want to grow in life, you don't want to progress in life. Okay, fine, go ahead and die then. What a fucking weirdo,
Yeah.
son. What a fucking weirdo. And people still, and one thing that bothers me though, I'm not gonna lie, is that even after all the stuff that's come out about him, whether it's like, the sexual assault stuff or the way he ran things and all that jazz, people still freaking defend him.
Mm.
Oh, innocent until proven guilty. We wouldn't be fans if it weren't for him. All hail Vince McMahon. All hail Vince McMahon. I'm like, if ever I did not respect somebody, these are the people I don't respect.
Got you.
Yeah, from what I see of it so far, it definitely seems like stuff I already know about. But I'll still watch it anyway, just to see like like what their take was on the whole Vince thing, like their way of presenting it. And it's funny, Vince actually put out a tweet the other day saying how he was disappointed with it, how they made him look bad, how they made him look as if the Mr. McMahon character is the real Vince McMahon. Yeah, you kind of saw that coming. And apparently he tried to buy the rights from it back from Netflix, but they refused. And I was even hearing something else that like Vince stayed on, how like had they not gotten rid of Vince when they did, that would have maybe hurt them getting the deal with Netflix for Raw, which I could have
Oh,
definitely seen happening.
okay. I mean, I don't know why Vince is surprised though, because I mean, he did an interview, so it's like you kind of knew how the way the whole thing was going, though. But I don't know.
Yeah, they got over 4 hours of interview footage with Vince, and they said some of it they couldn't even use because his voice sounded so bad.
Hmm.
And even on the documentary itself, you could definitely tell his voice sounds different, his face looks different.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's. I mean, look, he's getting older, man. So it's like,
Yeah, but just the whole vibe I get from him and just from that comment he made about people retiring, it's just the more you see about the dude, the more you learn about the dude from people who've worked with him, people who've been around him, etc., the more you are happy that he is gone.
yeah, and I really think about like, man, what would have been like if he was still here, and him leaving was something that it needed to happen. Because look at business now. I've never seen the wrestling business like this. You know, financially and financially, and what's the other word I'm trying to look for? Financially and exposingly, I haven't seen a business like this exposed like this in a long time.
Bro, everybody's getting exposed right now. Vince McMahon's getting exposed, Diddy's getting exposed, and a bunch of other people who are probably next. And I think like the mayor of New York is under criminal indictment right now.
Good Lord.
Yeah, all these powerful ass people are crumbling, son, and I feel like this is only the beginning.
I mean, I want to get back to how the way business is now. It's like, I mean, think about it. Like, when was the last time you heard that, like, a PLE event tickets sold out that fast? When was the last time we heard stuff like that?
They've had like 50 sellouts this year, 50 TV sellouts this year, son.
Yeah, but how long? How long has it been since we heard? Like before that, when was the last time we heard stuff like that? Long time,
As far as consistently selling out arenas like this, probably like 2000, 2001.
dude. That's a long time ago, dude. I don't recall. Oh my god, like the tickets for whatever such and such sold out that fast. I was like, dude. When I heard Bad Blood tickets, sold out that fast, I was like, oh my god, tick business is booming.
Yeah, and even Saturday night's main event I heard is almost sold out too.
Yeah. And God knows what, how when the tickets go on sale for WrestleMania, oh my God.
Oh, it's gonna be a
Ooh.
wrap. But yeah, if Vince were still around, if Vince was still in the picture, I hate to say this, but the
Yeah.
crowds at Raw and SmackDown would be eerily similar right now to the crowds we see at most AEW shows.
Similar to the crowds that we saw back in like 2017, 2018.
Yeah, but I just saw like a picture from like AEW Collision from like a week or so ago, and the arena was 90% empty.
Saw that. Yeah, that's
That's not good.
no, it's not.
They had their Arthur Ashe Stadium show last night, the Grand Slam show. It was probably the
Yeah.
weakest attendance they probably ever did for any of them. I don't know what it is,
Mm,
man, but they've been ice cold when it comes to attendance.
mm, 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 mm.
Yeah, but we'll see if that changes soon enough. If when their new TV rights deal gets announced, which supposedly is going to be happening soon. Yeah, man, they need something. They need something desperately.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Vince documentary, I'm gonna finish watching it today. And yeah, just the more you learn, like I said, the more you learn about the guy, the more you see of him, you're like, yo, this dude definitely needed to go a long time ago. And thank God he's finally gone
Mhm.
now.
Hey, it's like, look, one of my favorite movies with the very famous quote: "You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself as a villain." So
That's
you
exactly
got
what
to the
Vince
point.
became. Yeah, that's exactly what he
Yep,
became.
got to a point where you overstayed your welcome, and look how the way things are now.
Yeah, and even Natty, even Natalia was talking about recently how great of a boss Triple H is. And one of the quotes that
Mhm.
stood out about what she said was that she said it's nice to have a boss that's actually human.
There is one thing that did stuck out with me. Another thing that stuck out with me that documentary is how the schedule for wrestlers back then compared to now was just like, damn, literally working 7 days a week.
And twice a day, some of those days.
And not only that, you're getting hurt. You're not really like, don't have enough medical clearance to get taken care of versus now. That's where the whole union thing started with Jesse Ventura. That's crazy.
Yeah, they wrestle however many nights a week out of the year. And yeah, they have injuries, they have personal issues they're dealing with, but he just doesn't care. He just wants them on the road to make every show possible and just wear them down until they have nothing left. Even Randy Orton said that recently about how he came to Vince in 2015 about some back issues, and then Vince was like, "Oh no, I need you on these shows, man. Father Time gets us all." It's like, who the hell wants to work for somebody like that?
Even Bret Hart in that documentary said, looking back, he wish he would had like some few days off. I was like, dude, I feel, oh my god.
Yeah, bro,
Woo!
that
Oh my
schedule is
god.
ridiculous. They would be off like
Yeah.
what? They would get like maybe 3 days off out of the month.
Yeah. Dude.
3 days off a month is nothing, man. Yeah, you can't spend time with your family. You can't get errands done. Yeah, that's nothing.
Crazy.
And even Jade Cargill was opening up about how brutal the WWE schedule is compared to the AEW schedule. And yeah, she's saying how like, yeah, it's tough. And even now it's not anywhere near as tough as it used to be, but even now it's a lot to handle.
What for WWE?
Yeah, Jade Cargill was talking about recently how like, yeah, the schedule in WWE is overwhelming.
Wow.
Yeah, because in AEW she'd only wrestle once a week, maybe twice a week in some cases. But now with WWE, she's on the road like what 4 or 5 days out of the week. Sometimes it's international tours, all that jazz.
Yep.
Yeah, so this shit is new to her.
Yep. Big leagues.
Yep, but yeah, I'm gonna watch the rest of this Vince
And
documentary.
y'all to make me some breakfast real quick. Uh,
Yeah, definitely something you'll learn a lot from if you don't know enough about Vince and the way he did things. So yeah, I will be getting some of my popcorn ready. Yes, sir. But bro, anything else you want to get into tonight or this morning?
you got to get used to this.
Yeah.
No, not a much. Not much. Nothing else. I can't wait for Bad Blood. So that will be next week, ladies and gentlemen, for our prediction show. Before we jet off, Kurt, tell us where they could follow you on social media.
On social media, on Instagram, you can follow me at my name Conscious Kurt. Also on Facebook, you can follow me with my first and last name, Kurt Cadet. And if you want to listen to this and past episodes of the podcast, you can find it on Spotify, Spreaker, or YouTube. And if you want to follow our Instagram page, you can look up at Champs Clash and you'll find us. We'd love to chop it up with you and talk to you about this crazy world of wrestling in any ways. And also about ways it could be better, and also ways that us as fans can be better and not be so damn toxic.
Amen, brother. Amen.
All right, so for John Randall, this is Conscious Kurt with another edition of the Clash of the Champions. Take care, enjoy your weekend, stay warm out there because it's starting to get a little cold outside. And most importantly of all, do not be an asshole in real life or social media because that shit is for the birds.
That's not fair. You're already getting the fall weather out there. Here, it hasn't changed yet. It's like it was in the 90s, like or 80s last week. This weekend's going to be back in the hundreds. So I'm kind of like, fall, hurry up and get here, man. Oh,
Yeah, I'm hoping it starts to like really feel like fall here soon. Like now it's been kind of like raining a lot more than anything.
oh,
But I'm looking forward to the leaves changing and all that good stuff.
man.
And being back in New York for fall. It's been too long. It's been 14 years.
Waiting to wear my hoodies again, but
I hear
anyway,
that.
yeah. Anyway, though, but God bless, ladies and gentlemen. Take care and always be cool.
Yes. Have a good one, guys.